In today's video, I want to talk to you about the things you should be prioritizing, things that you should be getting a grip on, figuring out how to execute at the highest level beyond all this crap we hear and see and observe when it comes to the politics of this season. Because guess what? We're going to always have political opinions, political perspectives, political views, political differences. But for me as a preacherpreneur, someone who's been a pastor and preacher for over 2 decades and an entrepreneur and business owner for over 2 decades, I focus on my spiritual obligations, my moral obligations, and my economical obligations. Doesn't mean that I don't think politics are important, but what it means is every 2 to 4 years when we run through these political cycles, we still have a spiritual responsibility and obligation to our families, at least in my estimation. We still have a moral responsibility and obligation to our families. And we have an economic responsibility and obligation to our families. At least that's how I see it. And the people that my wife and I lead in our congregation and faith community, they believe the same thing. The people we lead in our business community, they believe the same thing, which is probably one of the reasons why they're part of our community. Now, you may have different views, perspectives, and opinions, but guess what? You're watching my video, so you got to hear the things that I want to tell you that you should be getting a grip on. You should be getting together. You should be prioritizing and focusing on beyond all the crap that we hear, see, and observe concerning the politics of the United States of America. So I'm going to give you 3 things, okay? The first thing you got to get a grip on is your moolah, baby, your money. You got to prioritize making money. Now, a lot of people in certain circles that I'm in, especially ministry circles, church circles, spiritual circles, a lot of people, they don't have a heightened awareness of the importance of money. When the Bible even says money answers all things. So to some extent, money is tied to almost everything that we do, even what we do in the church, in the Christian community. Money is tied to it. We can't have a congregational worship space. We can't have lights and all the resources that are necessary to do inreach and outreach to our community if we ain't got no doggone money. So whether you are in the faith community, in the business community, or whatever community, you need to get a grip on your money. And what I mean is you got to find creative ways to increase your income, increase your revenue if you're an entrepreneur. You got to get creative. You got to get out the box. You got to stop always focusing on trying to shrink your expenses and start focusing on expanding your income. Let's just say hypothetically you have $5,000 a month of expenses, okay? Well, how low can you go in terms of shrinking your expenses? Well, you could go to 0, but that's only 5,000. But if you're only making 5,000, there's no limit to how much money you can make. You can make $5 million a month if you're creative enough. Don't we all wish we could be making $5 million a month? But guess what? There are people on this planet who make $5 million a day. Ask Jeff Bezos. So it's possible. It's doable. I just got to get creative. I got to figure out the things that I need to do in order to increase my income. And a part of focusing on my money, prioritizing my money, is learning to manage it, becoming disciplined, delaying gratification. All that stuff I'm talking about is hard. It ain't easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. I'm working on that and tweaking that every day of my life. But to generalize, the first thing that you got to get a grip on, you got to get going, you got to prioritize, is your money. The second thing I would say, and this is like something that's not really common, your retirement. Now, there are different perspectives or angles you can look at your retirement. From one perspective, your retirement reflects your after work years. It reflects a point in your life where you just don't want to work, or maybe you can't work. So it doesn't mean you hit a certain age. It means that you're just at a point in your life where you don't want to actively engage as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a minister, as an employee. Well, when you make the decision that you don't want to work, or when life events make that decision for you and you can't work, you at that point shift into your after work years, which generally speaking is considered your retirement. So you need to be focusing on that now. Don't wait till sometime in the future. Now, here's the other perspective I want to give you. Today, statistics show that there are over $40 trillion with a T, not million, not billion, but over $40 trillion that are tied into retirement assets, okay? This could be 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, all the different types of retirement instruments that exist, many of which exist through employer-sponsored programs. So when you get a job, they give you the benefits and they give you the option to sign up for the 401k, the retirement account, and they start taking stuff out, your check, putting it in these accounts. Well, there's over $40 trillion tied up into these accounts. Most people, and I know I'm clear on that because almost everybody I talk to about this, they tell me they didn't know this because I'm a real estate investor. So I'm always looking to find people who want to invest in our deals as private money lenders. And one of the best ways for people to become private money lenders and real estate investors is by them taking their current retirement accounts and creating self-directed accounts that gives them the freedom and the flexibility to invest in what they want to invest in rather than Wall Street or big institutions making that decision. So this is why I'm saying you got to get a grip on this, especially if you've worked for a long time, you have retirement accounts or a retirement account set up, and you don't know where your money going. All you know is there's some digits on the screen, or when you call in, they send you a statement every once in a while, but you can take control of that. The way you're going to get a grip and take control of that is consider self-directing that money so that you can put that money in vehicles that move your retirement up much more quicker. I'm telling you, this is a game changer for the people who do it, and not enough people are doing it. I think right now we have less than 5% of people who have retirement accounts using it creatively through self-directed accounts. Okay, so we have money, you got to get a grip on. Retirement, you got to get a grip on. And here's the next one. Community. It baffles me, especially as a preacher and an entrepreneur, it baffles me how many people in today's world right now, because we're still in this election season, it baffles me to see how many people are creating communities for themselves based on political views. I'm telling you, I've been a full-time preacher, pastor, minister, entrepreneur, business owner, real estate investor for over 20 years. My wife and I both. We have a congregation, we have a faith community full of amazing people. We have a business community. We have mentees, we have students, we have clients, we have investors and partners that we work with. And guess what? We have meetups on a month-to-month basis. We have coaching calls on a weekly basis. We have staff here at our company. We got volunteers in our church. And we ain't never talking about politics. It's not that we don't care, but politics, they're not as important as the other things that we know are pressing issues in our day-to-day lives and in the lives of the people that we serve. So don't just build your community around a political view, a perspective, or an opinion. Build your community around spiritual views, around moral views, around economic views. Like if you want to put political views on that list, it shouldn't be at the top. Spiritual, moral, economical, and then maybe, just maybe you could put political. But it shouldn't take priority over your spiritual, your moral, and definitely as a member of our community and society as a whole, it shouldn't prioritize your economic views. So you want to get a grip on community. Find and align with people who share the same views and values as you, not just politically. And I'm not just talking spiritual or moral. I'm also talking economic, because I know a lot of people who have the same spiritual and moral views. They don't cuss, they don't fuss, they don't fight, they don't club, they don't smoke, they don't sleep around. Okay, all that stuff is good. They go to church 18 times a week, but they broke. So I don't want to find and align people who share the same spiritual and moral views, but you don't share none of my economic views. You don't prioritize money over some of the stuff that you prioritize. You don't understand the tool that money could be and how money biblically answers all things and how it is tied to almost everything that we do in life. I don't want to align myself with you. So again, beyond the political issues that we are hearing and seeing and observing, we need to focus on things that give us the control of our own lives and destiny. And I think if we get a grip and get to going and prioritize money, retirement, and community, no matter who is president, who is not president, no matter who is Republican, Democrat, Independent, or none of the above, we control the narrative of our lives because we got a grip on the things that are important to us.